Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today, and we are talking about Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic Remake. We had some news just last week, break about it. Your boy broke some news of his own just in yesterday's video that's making the rounds, which is kind of hilarious because I've dropped that news at least like 3 times at this point, but that's what happens when I guess the week is slow with news. You know, you get scooped up. So we'll talk about that more extensively, but there's been a lot of changes on the home front for KOTOR Remake, and I thought now would be a good opportunity to not only talk about that, but to offer further insight on what's going on with this game based off things I've been told. So welcome one, welcome all to a KOTOR Remake news update. I can't believe I get to talk about this game, man. I'm so excited. They need to give me more, and it looks like soon we will be getting more. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new here and you're into Knights of the Old Republic, you are absolutely in the right place. I know news on this game has been relatively dry, but I promise you, when there is something, anything, I'm on it, baby. I'm on it. We're going to tear it apart and talk about everything we can. With that, join up and let's get into it, starting off with the headline from Eurogamer. Saber Interactive joins the development of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic Remake. Evil Dead developer Saber Interactive has joined up with Aspyr to work on the upcoming Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake. During the Q4 Embracer Group report, board member Matthew Karch revealed that Aspyr and Saber Interactive were now working together on the remake, calling it a massive product. Quote, Aspyr has gone full into making this the best game they can make. When we acquired Aspyr, we knew from the start that they would require our assistance, and Saber has tremendous experience in creating these types of products, end quote, he said. Quote, we're fully confident that the game is going to be fantastic, but it's a massive, massive product, and massive products require a lot of effort and a lot of time to make it good. And especially when you're talking about a game already old, very old, we've basically had to remake that game from scratch, end quote, he continued, before assuring that we would hear more about the game, quote, in the next several months, end quote. Okay, where does your boy begin with all of this? Let's talk about the new developer. I know sometimes when a new developer comes in, that can be a bit worrisome. I think this is great news for Aspyr. Why is that? This is their first AAA project. Saber Interactive is very experienced in both leading their own projects, like we just saw with Evil Dead, which reviewed very well, like we saw with World War Z, which also reviewed very well. Like, this is a talented team, but they can also be a support studio. They can be a port studio, like they did the Witcher 3 on Switch and did a phenomenal job with that. So they're good at everything. This is one of the smartest purchases that Embracer could have honestly made, because this is the definition of a flexible team. So to have them come in to Aspyr's first ever AAA project and offer them assistance, which they expected they would need, and I think it does make sense that they would need it, I think is great news, because they help build great video games. I trust Aspyr. I've always said I trust Aspyr because there's passion there, there's heart there, there's talent there. They've brought all those Star Wars games from our childhood back to modern consoles, so you know there's a lot of love for Star Wars there, especially the Old Republic, and then having them usher us into a new era with KOTOR and the assistance of Saber Interactive. To me, music to my ears. Really like this partnership here. To me, it is not a sign of weakness. It seems like a lot of the team is pleased with how development is going when I was last told. So to me, again, not really concerned about this whatsoever. I think this is reassuring, if anything. Next, let's talk about the scale of the project. Massive, massive product, right? And they're saying because the game is old, they're remaking it from scratch. That was the expectation. So the way they're speaking, I don't know if they were surprised by that. I'm not quite sure. But to me, this does not, again, resemble that, oh my God, there's got to be a lot of concern, because KOTOR in its own right, when you think about when it came out, it was a massive and complex video game, right? Choice and consequence. It was on a AAA level production for its time. I know when you look at it now, you don't think, well, that's AAA. I get it. But back then, it was a big deal. Graphically, it was a big deal. Character customization, party customization, all the different outfits you could get. Again, the choices you can make in the story, the dialogue options, the conversations you could exhaust. It is still to this day a massive game. Just massive has changed so drastically in today's day and age. With money, it's become more expensive. With the size of games, like everything being open world, everything being live service, continued recurrent content, everything there has become massive. That is today's massive. I shared this in a scoop in the first day of the new year, actually. And it was there that I said that there will be brand new content in the Knights of the Old Republic remake, not just all the stuff we've seen previously. Now, when it comes to the main story, they do plan to honor that, respect it, and leave it be. So fingers crossed that is accurate. To me, that's the most important part of it all. But beyond that, there will be new content, which means the game is going to be bigger. And beyond that, it could be bigger in the terms of its levels. You look at something like, I'm going to go with Korriban, right? You're in the academy. It's a little more narrow than I think the original product wished to be. Obviously, you had to size things down for the current technology at the time, which was the original Xbox. But now looking at the Series X, which again, it'll get there eventually with timed exclusivity, but specifically the PlayStation 5 and PC, you could do a lot more. So it'd be cool to see them open up these areas, and that could be adding time, content, and making this much more massive. That's one of the things that for me as a diehard fan, I could expect to see them do. So yeah, when it comes to the size of the product, not concerned. When it comes to the actual developer assistant, not too concerned. Let's talk about new gameplay though. Oh man, if there's one thing I really want to see, it's totally this game in action where we're all reacting to it together. That is going to be an iconic Mr. Matty moment. I will likely bawl my eyes out. It's going to be so emotional, but I'm so jazzed to really lay my eyes on a good representation of what the final product will actually be. So they say that in the coming months, we will see something for KOTOR Remake. I do imagine this is gameplay, right? We got the reveal. We know it exists back in 2021 during the September event for PlayStation, that beautiful showcase that was absolutely killer. And I feel like in the coming months, right now, we're in May, that to me says September again. However, there is supporting evidence of that from other leakers like Account NGT, who was responsible for a lot of Hogwarts Legacy leaks. And this is on the note of another game. If these two games, mind you, let's time out for a sec. If Sly Cooper and KOTOR Remake are in the same showcase, it is a goddamn good year to be me. Why is that? Well, it's been reported a number of times. I'm actually like tearing up right now. I'm so excited at the idea of it. It was reported though earlier this year multiple times that Sly Cooper 5 or a new Sly Cooper game, a reboot, a remake, no one really seems to know, but it seems like it's going to be announced at some point this year. As much as I love this and I'm so excited, part of me is not too surprised when you look at them doing like the Funko Pops at GameStop, when you look at the Easter eggs and all these PlayStation games. It's like Sly's slowly but surely resurging into the public eye, right? The Ghost of Tsushima Easter eggs with the different outfits you could use, but you're like, oh, well, that's Sucker Punch. They made Sly Cooper. Of course they're going to put an Easter egg there, but you just have to wonder after Sly Thieves in Time with that cliffhanger, there's got to be more, right? Whether they continue it or start it over, I just hope they start it over. I am pumped. Anyway, getting off track here, that is the rumor right now, and it's said by Account NGT that this is likely going to be announced in September, as I was saying, since early March. By the way, the same source told me a few weeks ago that no big showcase was planned until September, which coincides another time an announcement in September. The reason this is important is because there have been rumors suggesting that PlayStation will have some type of showcase in June. That wouldn't surprise me. They could do two showcases. It's not like it's one or the other. I don't have any insight or knowledge on that, but given Aspyr's words, it seems like they could have a June showcase, and then perhaps you could expect in the September showcase that you would see Aspyr's KOTOR Remake. Time will tell on that, but sometime this year we're going to see the game. If it is showing up in September, do not expect it to come out this year. The original thing I was told was the target, by the way, was 2022, end of the year. From what I was told, it didn't seem like they were going to hit it. It was a target right now, but no one felt uncomfortable about that because development has been going smoothly for this game. I mean, game development's tough, so as smooth as it can be. But I would not be surprised if, given what now we have official sources from Embracer saying in the coming months you will see the game, that this is without a doubt been pushed into 2023, which is fine. I want them to take their time with it. This is, again, Aspyr's first AAA project, and this is my favorite game of all time. Take your time. It's okay. Trust, and just make sure you get it right, at least on a polish level. Because it's one thing I can stomach if this game is not you know, really honoring the original KOTOR. Of course, I can stomach that because at least it came out and it exists, right? The remake is there and you can find something to love in that, I believe. But with the brokenness of a video game, that is just destructive, right? Like, Fallout 76 nearly destroyed my love for the Fallout franchise because it was that bad and broken and embarrassing to play. So to me, it's just like, look, give it the time it needs to at least be polished. So no rush on that. For those who are looking for a release date of some kind, I don't think it's going to be happening this year. And again, Embracer saying coming months, plural. We don't have months until June when the showcases are happening. So I would say, and this is not my source, I would say expect this maybe in September with that showcase with some type of 2023 launch date. And that means I'm going to be playing KOTOR Remake and Starfield in the same year. Ooh, man. Again, it's going to be a good time to be me. I'm so excited. All right. So what I wanted to talk about to cap off this video, leaving the news behind, was I couldn't help but notice a scoop I mentioned in yesterday's video has been making the rounds about Xbox turning down the KOTOR Remake exclusivity. And I just wanted to more so talk on the notion of that, less about the scoop itself, because to me, it's so fascinating to watch the games industry function. Right now, Xbox is in a bad position, right? You delayed Starfield, you delayed Redfall. People are really upset with them. It's easy to dunk on Xbox. People are unsubscribing from Game Pass. It's all negativity surrounding Xbox, which again emphasizes why they need a really strong showcase to turn this narrative around. So seeing Xbox turning down the KOTOR Remake as a timed exclusive for their platform doesn't come as too much of a surprise as something being thrown into the news cycle now rather than like 6 months ago or even more than that when I reported it. I've said it on Defining Duke a multitude of times, and I know I've said it here on the channel as well. So it just makes sense that right now, I'm not trying to defend them overly here. It's easy to dunk on Xbox. It makes sense why this is getting picked up and run away with. I'm not too surprised by it, but I just find it so interesting. Like, wasn't this, I don't know, worthy of the discussion when I first brought it up? But I get it. There's a lot of prove it for your sources. I'm not going to run around like an insider. I don't want to make my whole living off being an insider. But the sources telling me this have been right on a multitude of things. I was aware of the Force Unleashed port coming out. I was aware of the KOTOR port coming out. I knew about the timed exclusivity, 12 months, PS5, PC. I've seen a lot of things that absolutely prove that this is an accurate report. It's unfortunate to see Xbox turn down the legacy, but it is what it is. At least we're eventually going to get it on Xbox. I don't know if this is true or not, but just given what I've heard from other developers on dealing with Xbox, they like day one Game Pass, and it's possible that they were trying to work that deal with Aspyr, and they were like, well, it's Star Wars. Like, we don't want to do day one Game Pass. People are going to buy this thing. We don't want to give it away, so we're not going to do that. And I imagine that's where Xbox went, okay, see you later. That is just my guess, not what I've been told. Speculation mode, just my guess. Because now I know I'm getting picked up on KOTOR everything. I need to make it clear. Just a guess. But I just can't wait to get my hands on this game. It needs to be 2023 already. Ugh, God. Can we invent a time travel machine? I swear, life would be so much easier. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. And I appreciate you tuning in. With that, let me know what you're thinking about the KOTOR Remake news and scoops we discussed in today's video. Fire away. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Those links are in the description down below. And a big thank you to all the patrons, all the members who continue to support the hell out of the content here. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.